Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the weekend wrap up on this July 4th, 2026. Josh, how are things going for you this morning? Looks like you've got a different brand of coffee today.
Different brand of coffee. July
Yeah.
4th, Southern Cup is closed, so I had
Yeah.
to go to Grindstone this morning. So, yeah.
That looks pretty nice there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
Good.
It's very
Good
good.
stuff.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Very good. Hey, 4th of July, I'm going to read you something, David. This
All right.
ties into something
All right.
you wrote yesterday.
Okay.
We'll just kick things right off.
Okay.
This is from a document you may have read in the past. This
Okay.
came in about 250 years ago.
50 years ago.
250 years ago. Going to read a couple words you recognize, then go a little further into it. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed.
Yes.
Consent of the governed.
That would be us.
That would be government from the people up.
Yes, not from the
Versus
top
from
down.
the top down. So, and I
Yeah.
think you wrote a little something
Yes, I
maybe
did.
yesterday.
Yes, I
about
did.
that.
I just feel
Yeah.
like that over the years, and as a child growing up,
Yeah.
when we elected somebody, I thought that they were in charge of us.
Right.
And we were kind of taught that because we studied about Europe and all the kings and the queens and the monarchs and
Yeah.
all this stuff, the emperors. And for some reason, it shifted. We ran from that stuff, Josh.
Right.
And that's where we're at today. But for some reason, we drug the idea with us that somebody is on top of us.
Right. Yeah.
I don't like that thought, Josh.
Yeah.
I
Well, and
just really don't.
it goes back further than 1776.
Oh, yeah,
if you
way
go
back.
way back, I
Way
think
back.
if I remember from Sunday school class,
Yes, absolutely.
we
it
had,
does.
we had some people in Israel and they wanted a king. And they
Yeah.
got King Saul and they got what they asked for.
They got him.
They
Yes.
got what they asked for. So I think as we think back on the 250-year history of our country, maybe we should remember some of those lessons
Yes.
that we learned back then, and they may apply even 250 years later.
You reckon?
What a concept.
And you know what? In August, we have an opportunity to correct the mistakes we've made, if we've made mistakes, about who we hire to put in these positions. That's the way I'm kind of looking at it.
Right.
I think these elections and all the campaigns are job interviews. That's the way I'm kind of looking at it. I'm going
Yeah.
to stick with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. So pay attention.
Yeah.
It's voting's coming soon. So,
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Make smart decisions.
We want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. I know there's a lot of people, of course, going to be celebrating, shooting some fireworks, eating
hanging out on the
something,
lake. Yeah.
eating some barbecue or hamburgers and
All that
hot
good
dogs
stuff.
and the picnics and all that.
Yeah.
Hopefully the weather will hold up for us.
Hopefully
Like
it will.
yesterday,
We'll get into that in a minute. 'Cause,
Okay.
Yeah, we'll discuss some things have gone on in the last couple of days. We'll definitely get into that. So,
well,
let's hear.
let's hear from our
from our
sponsors.
sponsors.
Cutting Edge Optical out on North Main Street, and the Dream Team, Coldwell Banker, the Arnolds.
Yep.
Mother and daughter pair that can take care of all your real estate needs. And who else we got, Josh?
Dennis Young,
Dennis
I
Young
believe.
Insurance,
Dennis
longtime
Young
sponsor,
Insurance.
Dennis Young Insurance.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's hear from these three, and we'll be right back.
For clear vision and trusted care, choose Cutting Edge Optical. We offer comprehensive eye exams powered by 20/20 exams, expert contact lens fittings, and a wide selection of quality frames to match your style and budget. Need glasses fast? We even offer same-day eyeglasses to keep you seeing clearly without the wait. Our experienced team is committed to personalized service and helping you see your best every day. Visit Cutting Edge Optical at 1114 North Main Street in Shelbyville or call 931-488-5778 to schedule your appointment today.
Get the results you want with the personalized service you deserve at Dennis Young Insurance Agency.
As a local independent agency, we offer coverage from several different companies, including Erie. So whether it's auto, home, life, personal, or business, we can find the right coverage to meet your unique insurance needs. And with a rate lock advantage, your rates won't go up as long as you do not change drivers, autos, or addresses. Contact us at Dennis Young Insurance Agency, insuring Shelbyville and surrounding areas since 1988.
When you're ready to buy or sell in Middle Tennessee, you want someone who knows this community inside and out. Meet Diane and Madison Arnold, Shelbyville's trusted real estate team with decades of local experience and award-winning results. Whether it's finding your dream home, pricing your property to sell, or navigating every step of the transaction with confidence, they're with you from start to finish. As part of Coldwell Banker Southern Realty, they pair hometown expertise with powerful market tools to help you move with confidence. Call Diane and Madison today and experience the personal service and local knowledge that makes all the difference.
All righty, welcome back in here to the weekend wrap-up show. I know, Josh, you've got not a huge layout this morning. But
No, not a
quite
busy
a bit of
week,
stuff
holiday
happened,
week,
but yeah.
holiday week. But we wanted to lead with something a little somber off the top here. We posted a link to a news article yesterday. Actually, I got the news sometime yesterday afternoon that Senator Jim Tracy had passed away yesterday. I didn't have the opportunity to work with him or know him personally, but I know a lot of people here in the community knew him over the years, and he did a lot of good things for Bedford County. We had been, not me personally, although I voted on a couple of things, there was an event plan that I believe is still going to go on in 2 weeks on Friday, 2 weeks from yesterday, that was going to be honoring him. And there's a bridge, an overpass on the bypass that's going to be renamed in his honor. And like I said, I believe that'll still go on. They've been hoping to get that done. He'd been in poor health for a while, and it just timing didn't quite work out. Weren't able to get it done before he passed away. But I know there'll also be announcements of other services and whatnot. But we just wanted to, take a minute and remember him and honor him.
Jim was a friend to the community.
Yeah.
He was not originally from here. He's originally from Columbia, but he got involved in sports. He was a referee. He opened up a local insurance agency here many years ago, and just friends of our family. And I think everybody that's been around that length of time was friends with Jim.
Yeah.
I mean, he helped the walking horse industry. He tried to help the youth of our community through sports, and his kids grew up with my kids, and it's just a family that means a great deal to the community.
Yeah. So we do want to take a minute and remember him. And then from that, let's go into the little bit we have for today. Like I said, holiday week, short week. Unless we chase a rabbit, we won't be here all morning like we are sometimes.
I see some I could chase, Josh, but you don't want to do that.
Things you could chase.
Oh,
But Tuesday evening was all the big government meetings this week happened on Tuesday.
The government meetings.
The government meetings all happened on Tuesday. Both the city and the county met, and they adopted their property tax rates, 1.0098 if you live in the city of Shelbyville.
I got to know something, Josh.
Yeah.
This is the question I want to ask, and I bet you can just spit it right out pretty quick. In one night, Bedford County and the city of, when did the city do it?
Same night.
Same night. Okay.
Same
Both
night.
nights. On Tuesday night, the city of Shelbyville and Bedford County approved a budget, which a budget spends the money on paper.
Right.
How much taxpayer money was spent on Tuesday?
I should have that number, but I didn't do that number. It was a lot. So I mean, if you include the school
130,
budget,
140 million.
no, over 200. If you include the city and the
my
county and
goodness.
the school, it's
$200 million.
I'm thinking, I think if you did the math and added them all together, it's a lot of money. So, so city tax rate 10098, county 1.5083, city of Shelbyville. Their budget this year, we have projected to spend $7.6 million. Then we'll be coming in.
How does that work? It don't work at my house, Josh.
Math doesn't work. And the county, not to be outdone, they're going to do 7.7 million.
Just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more. So,
Okay, so these are the two things that jump out off your outline here this morning, Josh.
Right.
How do we do this? How do we spend more than we bring in? What do we have to do?
At some point, you're going to have to cut spending or raise taxes.
Well, I mean, but how do
yeah.
we, if it's already on paper and we're going to spend that,
They're going to pull it from fund balance.
fund balance,
They're gonna
okay,
pull it
which
from
is
fund
that's
balance,
the rainy day fund.
That's the money sitting in the bank that's getting smaller when you do that. So, that's your bank balance that's shrinking.
Do you remember
Yeah.
Ross Perot? This might have been a little before your time.
No,
You were
Ross. He
real
had all the
young at
little
the time. but-
charts.
Yeah, and he said this giant sucking sound is taking place.
Yeah. So
That's what we got going on here, I believe.
that's what we got going on now. And this is what they'll say from in the argument. So I'll go ahead and make
Okay.
the argument for them.
Okay.
They won't really spend that much, and they'll really bring in more than. So those numbers are not real
I
numbers
feel
yet.
good about it.
But they're not going to close
We're going to
that
make
gap.
okay. So they're both admitting the city and the county are admitting close to an $8 million mistake.
But it'll shrink to about, and I'll just throw a number out because I'm just guessing, probably a 4 to 5 million on each. So
That makes me feel good.
Don't you feel better?
Yes, I do.
Don't you feel
Yeah.
better? So so there will be
Okay.
more revenue than was projected.
And
There will
and
be
then here
less
we go back to
expenses.
my article.
Yeah.
This makes the case for us doing a better job of selecting who we hire.
Yeah, and it's a conundrum for lack of a better word. So because I got to
Okay.
tell you, I'm in there and I voted on one of these. So when I saw all the numbers, and you gotta, I mean, what do you do? I actually saw, it was an article or something, and it talked about, it was the interview of our deputy police chief. And he talked about back in the day, I guess this happened in the 90s, he was working for the sheriff's office. They actually did a layoff.
Yeah.
They laid off a bunch of sheriff's
They
deputies.
did. They had to.
Yeah. We don't do that.
Midstream.
Yeah. We don't. I mean, as long, and I've only been in a year and a half myself, but nobody ever mentions.
Here's
government.
an idea.
So,
Okay.
and I'm not recommending laying off sheriff's deputies. I'm just saying it.
Well,
it
if
did
we
happen.
promise to be real good, will
Yeah.
we need as many? That
Well,
ain't gonna work.
I don't think
It's
it's
not
going to
gonna
work. So, but that's literally the conundrum. I mean, the only way to make the math work is you've got to cut, and you got to cut deep. You're not going to find $5 million by, spending less on
Right.
toner and copier paper.
Well, here's my question, Josh.
Yeah.
What percentage of the city budget is payroll?
Big percentage. I want to say
60?
the payroll number
65?
is 20 some million, maybe. I don't
So
know.
what percent?
Maybe
70%?
15 million. Yeah, I don't know. It's a big chunk.
And same
Yeah.
thing for the county. So our assets or our expenditures are for human resources.
Yeah, primarily
what it
more
is.
than equipment and
That's just what it
supplies
is.
and stuff. Yeah. Now you've got a lot of capital expenses, particularly in the school system, on buildings
Right.
and whatnot going on.
Okay.
But yeah, it is. I mean, really, and we've talked about this before. I mean, you've got to. What services do you feel like you can do with that?
That's it.
They just got our police numbers came out for the month. I think they responded to a call in 3.6 minutes or something. Do you
Yeah.
want to wait 5 minutes? Do you want to
Depends
wait
on what
10
it is.
minutes?
Depends on what it is.
You want to wait 15 minutes if you got a guy at your door with a gun? I mean, that's
Well, if you got a guy
Yeah.
door, you ain't got no time to wait.
yeah.
You have to take care of yourself.
Well, sometimes, yeah.
Well, you do.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, when you're
Right.
at that point, I don't care who you call, unless
Yeah.
they got some of them Star Trek beamer up Scotty deals. We're out of luck anyway.
Right.
They're
So-
gonna come fill out the report and
Sure.
see who got shot.
Yeah. But say you call for an ambulance. You need an ambulance.
need an
Do
ambulance quick.
Do you need him in 5 minutes? You want him in 15?
Need
you want
him
him in 30
instantly.
minutes?
We need him instantly.
Yeah. So that's where it gets hard.
So here's my
So,
question, Josh. And I've heard people arguing this. There's a lot of counties and cities have privatized, gone to private businesses, and to save money in human resources, and they've subbed out the ambulance, the EMS services. I mean, how many entities are out there doing that now? I've heard that.
I have heard of that. I do not know if the math actually pencils out. I mean, I'd be curious to see what we spend versus what, and would you get the same level of service? I'd want to see a pretty good study before I've made that type of a leap. And I don't think you can privatize your police department. I'm just guessing you don't want.
Yeah.
You don't want a bunch of.
Well, now I know
mall
that
cops.
in Citrus County, Florida.
Yeah.
They have a privatized jail. There is Corrections Company of America or something like that in a lot of
Yeah.
areas, and that's an issue.
There's a lot of that in the state of Tennessee as
Uh-huh.
far as at the state level, and
It doesn't work out
it
very
has
good.
not gone well with the privatization of state prisons. I do know some of those stories, and they're not pretty. So yeah, I don't know. We're reporting the numbers, and that's where we're at. So both budgets are starting out in the reds. So,
And then it looks like we got another one in the red.
yeah, and this was interesting because I went to this one earlier in the day. I go to this every few months or so. 911 passed their budget, and they went on. They were so concerned because they were 130,000 in the red, and I already knew at the time the other two numbers. I'm like 130,000. That's everybody else is in the millions. So.
But this is a small
Yeah.
budget compared.
This is a small
what,
budget.
4 or 5
compared
million
to-
bucks. isn't it?
Yeah. Compared to the rest, it's a small.
But
budget.
it's still being in the red is not a good thing for the future, Josh.
No, and they were not happy. But they've got millions in the bank. They could.
They
run
do
a
have a good
deficit
fund.
for.
Okay,
forever
so it's
now.
not as alarming.
And their issue is, I don't know if you remember, we talked about this a couple of months ago. There was a bill that passed through the legislature that was going to raise their funding that would have made them not be in
Right.
the red. And it got only the second veto ever from our current sitting governor.
Wow.
So he shot it down. That was I think you pay $1.50 or so. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head on each phone bill goes to 911 service. And I think they're trying to up to like $1.86 or something. And it passed legislature and
Yeah.
still got vetoed. So yeah. So
Don't sound like much, 30 cents.
No, but I guess, yeah.
All right.
It-
Some of
it
the
added
things that
up,
happen,
so-
you just got to shake your head. And
Yeah,
wonder
and
about.
they're expecting that to go back in front of the legislature next year. So that may fix their problem. And part of the other issue there is they got a brand new, and we'll talk about 911 real quick. I did sit through the meeting. We've got a beautiful new, brand new 911 facility. over
Beauty is
there.
important when we're dealing with 911 calls.
Well, it is actually a really nice facility. However, herein lies the problem. They're like short some furniture and they'll be ready to go, except they talked to AT&T in February of 2025, said we're going to be at this location with a new building. Here we sit in the month of July of 2026. Has AT&T responded or put in the phone line they need to run 911 or run this? No,
you know
not a
who?
word.
You know what AT&T sounds like to me?
the government.
Government.
The government.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so they're sitting there with a nice building and they're ready to go, probably in a month or so. And until AT&T pulls the wire, they're dead in the water. So
Yeah.
they're hoping that AT&T gets their act together, but it's AT&T. Who do you call? You're probably getting a call center overseas when you call.
I know.
So I don't know. That's where we sit with 911. They do have a nice building though. It is really nice. So,
These nice buildings they cost a lot. Are they going to make us more effective? I don't know. That's
well,
the
for
question.
911, if you've been, I don't know if you've ever been in their old building.
Yeah.
They were in a trailer. It was,
Okay.
It was bad. So yeah. So the new one is secure. It's tornado proof. It's got a
Tornado-proof,
generator.
okay.
It's So
they
it's
can
what
withstand
you
all
need
this.
for 911.
Okay.
But you do need to have your AT&T connection.
Does it
or
have
you
a
can't take
Does
phone
it have a
calls.
chandelier? I got to know.
There
that.
are no chandeliers.
No chandeliers. Okay.
So,
All right.
no chandeliers. City council, after we voted on the budget, or actually as part of the budget, I'm trying to think where this fit in the meeting. It was a special called meeting, which normally would just be the budget, but there was a bunch of stuff that they needed to get run through before the end of last budget year, which was the day that we were meeting. So they brought to us, number one, the possible purchase of the U.S. Bank building on the square. You may be aware of that building. It's on the square. It has U.S. Bank on the
Yep.
front.
Yeah,
They
it does, doesn't
were
it?
considering putting City Hall in it. They brought us a offer from the current owner of the building, and we looked at it, and there's been some questions, and we deferred it till at least next week to get some more answers because they're asking what seems like a reasonable amount. It's a little bit below the current appraisal for the building, but word is from people who have been in the building, and I have never even walked in the building. I've just seen it from the outside, but people that are supposed to know about this tell me the building might have some issues as far as I think roof, HVAC, and possibly structural.
Structural. That would be bad. That could be.
So
Okay.
we're trying to do a little more investigative.
But it's got a
looking.
chandelier.
Does it? I've not been inside, so
It
I've not
has
seen
a
the
chandelier.
It has a chandelier.
A great big old chandelier.
Well,
It's-
I'm
okay.
not
So
looking
this
to
is
spend
this
tax
is.
money on a chandelier. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. There
Yeah.
we go. Thank you,
Yeah.
Josh. All right,
So-
but this is the potential home.
It will be a potential city hall location. It would allow the city government to consolidate. It's currently split into two buildings.
What are those two buildings? Police department?
No,
old
no,
police
the,
department, or
the other bank building.
and
But they
then
got
the
City Hall now,
Chamber
and then
of Commerce.
the old chamber.
So you
building down
got
the
your
hill.
your
You got
your plan.
half your city departments are
Codes.
down the hill and half are up the hill.
Okay.
So,
At one time, what's in the basement of the current city hall now?
IT department and
Okay. At one time, codes was in there.
Oh, were they crammed in it?
They
Well,
were in there.
They wouldn't fit anymore.
They
so-
wouldn't.
No, because
Okay.
we got 1, 2, I think 3 people working in the basement, and then there's a little conference room that's more like a dungeon because it's in the back basement.
A dungeon.
part of it. So yeah, it's kind of back in the corner. So, so they are considering that. However, there was not enough information to make that decision last week, and I don't know it from the talk. I don't think there will be enough.
Josh,
this week
here's
either.
here's just a little bit of a thought, and this is just me talking, and I've heard those same things you have.
Yeah.
When you when you buy a piece of property that's been there for a long time, the cost of that property is not just what you pay for it.
right. It's what it takes
It
to get
could
it
have a-
usable.
X
Yeah.
by it, and then a number after that X, and that's
Yeah.
what's got to be evaluated. I think, right? Is
Yeah,
that
the
what you-
discussion is, I think the dollar figure that was offered to us, I think the expectation is that exact same dollar figure again to fix it. So
Or more.
or more.
Okay.
So at least double what the dollar amount is. So
And again, this would make us function better to have that chandelier hanging over.
I don't think the chandelier is going to help functionality, but
Okay.
it would be helpful to have
a
all
bigger
all
place,
the
yeah.
well, it'd be helpful to have all the departments in a single building, so you're
Okay.
not driving up and down the hill all day
That-
long.
that-
So yeah, but that's the discussion there. It didn't. The next item that we did actually vote on, there had been, and this had been in the news, there was the possibility of putting the police and fire headquarters over where the Musgrave ball field.
Ball fields, yeah.
That we actually, honestly, unfortunately, spent a lot of money on that idea and did a lot of work on the property as far as geo studies, and it
How much
would
did
work.
we spend on that, Josh?
I don't know. I don't
Just
have
to
a dollar
talk about
figure.
it.
Well, they did a bunch of I don't know what they do.
Analysis.
Yeah, digging in the ground and stuff to make sure it could hold a building that they were trying to build. So they had it partially.
Okay, so we did that,
concepted,
and then
yeah.
we're not,
Well, and then we made an offer to the property owners. So we had it appraised twice, and the appraisal came in here.
Mhm.
And then the owner came back and wanted this.
That's a big move.
It was a big jump.
Okay.
And we said, yeah, we can't go there. I mean, the appraisal's down here. So we're like, we'll go about here.
Oh, that's a lot.
It was still a bit of a jump.
Yeah.
And the owner said, we won't even talk to you for that. And then we said, well, we can't. I mean, it's taxpayer money.
Yeah,
At the end of the day,
absolutely.
We can't
Thank you.
go
Thank you again, Josh.
we couldn't go here.
Thank you.
We
Thank
just
you.
couldn't. And I'm hopeful in the future, maybe the owner can get up here from a commercial entity, but as far as from the city government to give them that number when the twice it had been appraised, the number was
Right.
way down here. It
Not
was
going to work. It just
wasn't
didn't
gonna
work out. Okay.
So we've officially stopped negotiations on that property. So that will continue to be ball field. So I know there had been concern from people that were worried about having to relocate the ball fields and stuff. Those ball fields, I feel like, are going to be there for quite a while now because I don't feel like this number is going to come from anybody
No.
anytime soon.
No.
So,
Well, sometimes a seller can say, let's just price it up, or we really don't want to sell it.
they acted like they wanted to sell it. That's why we did the research. But then the price came in and
We really don't want to sell it.
we didn't want to buy it for that.
Yeah.
So that's dead. So next thing that came up on the list was
So
we
we
don't
gonna-
have a
okay.
property, so now we got to go back to square
All
one.
right, so fund it. Tell me how much it's going to cost to study.
Uh,
And can we get out in our
They were
cars and just
about-
look around?
and I'm not looking. I should brought the paperwork on that. I want to say about 20,000 each to look for more.
If
For a different
private,
spot
if
now.
private business had to do studies like our government has to do studies, nobody would ever make it.
We'd never get anywhere.
Well, we
So,
would all go bankrupt.
Yeah, a lot of studying. So
A lot of studying and
A lot
not
of
much
studying.
activity. It
So-
drives me crazy.
yeah,
How do you get
Yeah.
in on some of these studies, Josh?
I don't know. I guess you got to know people. I'm not getting any studies either.
All
but
right,
so
how
that's
much,
what
how
we're
much,
studying.
how much
So,
was that? It was funded. How much was that?
Yeah, that's what I didn't bring with me. I think about 20,000. I think 20 for fire and 20 for
Five
police. And
digits.
I'm just working off the top.
Okay,
of my head.
all right.
I could be wrong, but I think I'm pretty close with that number. So yeah, so the city is now going back to the drawing board. Musgrave property didn't work, so that was the last property that another study done 2 or 3 years ago by MTAS had said was viable to put both entities on the same property, police and fire. So now we're starting all back at the beginning.
Well,
And we're looking for somewhere to put the police department and somewhere to put the fire
and
department.
this is you have limited availability, limited opportunities, limited candidates when you're trying to stay within this framework of where you need to be.
Fire is the biggest issue. The fire department
Yeah.
has a very narrow window of where we can put fire
Right.
headquarters. Now, the police headquarters theoretically could go anywhere in the city, but you wouldn't put them on the edge of the
No.
city. It makes no sense.
You got to
put
go
your-
across town.
Yeah, so you're trying to stay basically in the middle, but you're not like fire. It's not just basically in the middle. They got to be within. There's a very limited.
I would
certain-
say within a
distance.
2-mile circle, you need to be within that 2-mile circle.
Oh, fire's what smaller circle.
Oh yeah,
than
yeah.
that. It's
but
like,
the city, the
yeah,
police,
the police, they want to be near the middle.
Yeah.
Just because, yeah, you don't want to have your officers, at roll call all the way up in, up by the airport or something, and then have to respond to a call
Yeah.
down in south side town.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they need to be generally center. Fire department, on the other hand, they are literally confined with this particular station has to be within just a real small area. So they're going to go back and look at properties in that small area for them, and then police, they'll look in the center of the city and try to find something. And then last thing, more money being spent. I know you love that. The what is supposed to be the final, and this was supposed to, I think, have already been filed. This really is the final this time, David. This
Really?
is the final property deals that were necessary to start the River Overlook project, which has been going on for a number of years. I think it goes back probably about when that Declaration of Independence was that we read off earlier. So
Josh,
it's been going on for a while. So this was the last. There were 2 parcels that were tied up. This money gets those cleared up, and now they can really have a groundbreaking and shovels and hard hats and do something.
okay, so
yeah.
what did we do? What did we do there?
Oh, it's like 2 little slivers of land that were.
And how much was
holding
that?
up. Those were. That's all in the grant stuff. I think this is TDOT. This is
Oh.
a TDOT project.
So it's not our not
Well,
from this pocket.
It was from a
another
different pocket.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Well, I
I
feel
think the
good
one
about it.
was 25,000. The one was 30-some thousand.
pocket. It wasn't
So,
terrible. So
Yeah. These were not big property.
so what
deals,
is
but
the
they were
completion date? Are you thinking, or what are you hearing that this might be finished? 2027, 2028,
So we just had. Was this the semi Quinson whatever the
2050?
250?
Yeah.
So what's the 300th? I think by the 300th birthday, we should definitely have this
You
ready.
telling me I ain't seen it?
No. I'm just kidding. No, they tell us it's going out to bid, in
Okay.
the fall. So once it goes out to bid, they'll get some bids and hopefully
Okay.
give them a timeline. Yeah, I mean, they better be digging dirt
Pretty
sometime
quick.
this calendar year, I think,
Yeah.
at least starting.
Yeah.
So, but that's where that is. So that all got approved. So that was all the special called meeting. I drove up the hill from there there was a little event they had. This was the first ever big event they had in the new Riverview district. This is some of those dollars hopefully being put to use. And they had us outside and we ate food
Yeah. Well, that's not bad, is it?
and had some beverages. Just my personal recommendation, if you want to have an event in the Riverview district, I would have it in the spring or fall. Just
A little bit warm, huh?
for me, it was a great event. They raised a lot of money. The food was great. The company was great. I am old and fat, and I was hot. So,
Well, and this is just something that just kind of, the older I've gotten, the more it's important.
Yeah.
Why would you plan a picnic on the hottest day of the year?
well,
We've done this for years. I remember going to 4th of July with my family to Horton Park, and we had a picnic.
it was hot.
It was miserable. Everybody was miserable.
No, nobody seemed miserable, but I will tell you, I did walk into Grindstone about a half dozen times to get air conditioning because it was just 15 degrees would have been perfect. Lower, 15 lower, but it was a really good event. They raised a lot of money. It looked, if you saw we posted the drone video, it looked
It
great,
looked really good.
but
Yeah.
you can't feel the temperature.
No,
in the
you can't.
pictures,
No,
so
it
you
looked
can't feel
cool.
the
It looked
temperature,
cool, but it wasn't
looked
cool.
It wasn't cool. So, but it was really good. I did enjoy it, other than being warm. So, and I
Yeah.
hope they have it again in the fall when it's like 75, and it would be perfect. I'd stay till past my bedtime, till 10 o'clock if it was 75 out. So, but no, it was good. What do we have after that? Oh, Wednesday evening, I was one of a handful of people at the Willowmount Cemetery, and the Defenders of Freedom and Liberty. This is, I believe, they're a local 501c3. They do the Wreaths Across America program.
Uh-huh.
They do, if you've ever seen all the little flags on 9/11 that they put down on the road,
Yeah.
going down to the going down off the square there. That's
Yeah.
them. So they did a little event at Willowmount, and they put some artifacts, we'll call them, into the columbarium, and it was sealed up and will remain sealed for 25 years. In 25 years, they're going to open it.
Another time capsule situation.
This is the only time capsule that actually happened this week, which we'll
Yeah,
get to in a
that- yeah,
second.
okay.
So it was one of 2 scheduled, and this one actually happened. So so that was a neat event. I was glad that I got invited to that. Posted some pictures. That was good. And then which leads us into, there were no government meetings Thursday evening, but Friday evening, Stars and Stripes and Shelbyville Nights. This was an event that had been a lot of people been working on for a lot of months. And you plan and you plan and you work and you got all the best laid plans. And sometimes Mother Nature is undefeated.
Yes.
And not going to lie, Mother Nature won City of Shelbyville, 0.
Yeah, big time, big time.
Yeah, I was at the rec center about 2:30. I walked
When
in.
that wind came.
Well,
flying
no,
through.
I didn't. It was nice. I walked in the rec center. It was a nice day. It was a little hot. I'm like, man, it's gonna be a little hot this afternoon. So I did my laps around the little track upstairs for about
You
30
did
minutes.
laps.
I walked the
Wow,
rec center.
that's impressive.
So I walked. I know more than 3 laps. I don't know how many
All
I
right.
did. So,
Okay.
and then I come back out about 3:00, and it was a totally different day
Yeah,
outside.
yeah.
The flags were flying sideways, and it was lightning and wind. And I got in my car, got on some phone calls as I was driving there, like, hey, what in the world are we doing? Like, nobody knew. Nobody knew what to do because they hadn't expected it was going to get this
Yeah.
bad. And I got down to the square, which had looked beautiful 2 hours
Yeah.
before as I was there, and they had, all these lit up
Yeah.
signs, and flags, and tents, and bottled waters, and it was blown all over creation. So there were tents flying, there was flags flying, there was signs flying. It was so they gathered up what they could from it was supposed to be a 2-part event. It was supposed to start on the square. They had some kind of a walking horse thing where somebody had custom made a special outfit. They were going to do a parade around the square just for the 250th. They had Uncle Sam on stilts. They had music. They had
Uncle Sam on stilts.
Oh yeah, there was all this stuff, but it was lightning. So
Stilts is not a good thing.
Stilts on
Lightning,
lightning
no.
is not a good thing.
Not a good combination.
So we gathered in the county mayor's office, and there was a group of the organizers there, and EMA was there, and everybody looked at everybody and was like, what should we do? What should we do? And nobody really wanted to make the call, but eventually the weather made the call for us. So the call was, you couldn't do it. So
Yeah,
the lightning, you got to wait 30 minutes after a lightning strike within 10 miles to do something like that. We're going to have a bunch of people outside.
Yeah.
So about a little before 4:00, they made the call and just
Yeah.
said, hey, we can't do it.
Good
So,
call.
Yeah, good call. So
It rained for a good while into the evening.
yeah,
too.
we actually thought we'd probably get a window looking at the radar and said, oh, we could put it off, a couple hours. But that would have been the bad call. So the call to cancel was the good call.
Yeah.
So that part, the time capsule, I don't know if Uncle Sam's on stilts is coming back or not. You may miss that opportunity, but there will be something later in the month of July. There are 3 additional concerts as part of this Levitt concert series. It makes sense to try to tie this to one of those just to have something else going on other than the time capsule event. So probably it will be rescheduled to another Friday. The other possibility they discussed is they may just do a small ceremony just at lunchtime on the square for the people that work on the square. So they've not made that final call. So that part got axed for the night. And then the other part was supposed to start at 5. Was they brought in some paid musical acts, and they were good. The patriotic music was I should know his name because I talked to him for a while. I think it was James Rogers is the name that comes to mind, and he was a headliner at Dollywood. He wrote like the theme song for the National Guard and Fly Eagle Fly and a bunch of patriotic. So they had him lined up for an hour, and they went ahead and did it inside the Fly, but it didn't get because it was supposed to be a big outdoor event.
A lot of people just decided to stay in for the evening.
Yeah, they just decided not to come out in the pouring rain and the lightning and stuff. So, and then they had a DJ, and she was great. And had she been outside off the square, you would have heard the music all the way around the square, which would have brought even more people in. But that, while you're inside the building in the rain, and then
Not the same atmosphere.
yeah, and then the headlining band, again, a great band, was doing live music, a lot of their own stuff. This was all paid for by this big grant, but it just didn't get the turnout that they wanted. And then as if things, just a little side story, as if it's been kind of a rough evening. You had the food trucks and this and that try to come out. The hot dog guy actually sold. I don't know how many hot dogs he sold. He seemed to stay pretty busy, the hot dog guy.
Yeah.
But you had the Kona ice truck. They're selling the ice. You put the flavors in, so that they get about 7:00. I think it was. They're like, yeah, we're not. It's pouring rain. Nobody's buying Kona ice.
Yeah.
So they go to pull out of the parking lot. They get halfway across the parking lot. Somebody backs out of a parking spot into the back, into the side of the Kona ice truck. That's just how the day went. So that was just how it went. So all that to say, there's another event coming up tonight, so we're hoping it doesn't rain.
Yeah.
So tonight is the fireworks and stuff. And it wasn't just us that had the issue. I was on Facebook this morning. Goodlettsville planned a big deal. It rained so much there that they shot their fireworks, but they wouldn't let you drive into the park and park because all the ground where you would normally park was muddy.
Yeah, and you'd be like stuck.
You'd be stuck. Hendersonville had planned a huge thing, worked on it all year long, 250 celebrations, same thing. They had to cancel everything but the fireworks. War Trace had the hot air balloon and everything going on. They got rained on a big chunk of it. They did get their fireworks off as well, but a lot of the stuff that they were going to do wasn't able to happen. City of Nashville had a 2-day event, Friday and Saturday. America 250 concert, huge. Had to cancel Friday completely.
Yeah.
So it was just, what do you got to do? You get lightning and rain and wind and
Yep.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, and 4th of July just happens to fall on 4th of July every year.
Every
so
year.
it's not like
it's
you
odd how that happens.
you can't celebrate in September. So I don't know. That's kind of how it went. It was great music. I wish everybody could have seen it, but I got to see a lot of it and it was good. So and with that, that's all the uplifting news I have for
All right.
today.
Well,
so unless you've got a comment or two,
I
we
want
could,
to give
go
some
to our
shout
last
outs.
commercial. Yeah, give some shout outs.
Steve Jordan's in there. He says happy birthday, happy 250th birthday, America. Didn't think you guys were on today. We're here.
Yeah.
And he wishes us well. Then he asked a question, and John Hart comes in talking about emergency transportation was handled by local funeral home. All right, back in 1970. And then Evelyn Counts Die. Happy blessed 4th of July to 2 great Americans. I don't know who she's talking to there, but I don't know. All right. And Steve Jordan brings up a question. What happened to all the COVID relief money? As far as the county goes, most of that was spent on the TAC and radio system, the $6 million or whatever. We got 8. I think we ended up spending close to 6 on that. But I don't know about the city. If the city got, I'm sure they got some COVID relief, but they spent it on some needs at that time.
I'm trying to think. I want to say, and I'm just working off the top of my head without having done my research, but I believe all that flood pump money may have been.
Yes, probably about it.
Yeah, the flood pumps were millions of dollars, and they're about to be installed. I think that was the big.
Okay, then Renee Key comes in. Let's build more affordable apartments for seniors. Let's. Okay, who does that? The government does not do that. Now, we had this urban renewal project back in the 1950s where the government sunk a ton of money and built housing projects in Shelbyville here.
Yeah.
But the government does not build housing anymore unless they do something like that. But so that means somebody needs to build. There's a
private
need. That's the only way you're going to do it. If somebody can see an opportunity to make money, that's what they'll do. But our government can't keep blowing money on stuff nonstop. And
now the only place maybe they could quote unquote help would be if you're going to do something, price it below market. Maybe you could do some kind of a tax incentive to get them there. But as far as actually
the government's not going
the government building it, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
So that's all we've got going on in our conversations today. But we appreciate everybody giving your input and your questions and your thoughts.
Yes.
Let's take a break. Hear from another group of sponsors, Josh.
We've got group of sponsors.
Piggly Wiggly, First Bank, and Kincaid Service Company.
All right.
Let's hear from them, and we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Shop local at Shelbyville Piggly Wiggly. Down home, down the street. From farm fresh produce and hand-cut meats to pantry staples, dairy, frozen favorites, and household essentials, we've got your list covered at hometown prices. Don't miss our weekly ad and truckload meat sales. Open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Visit 874 Union Street, Shelbyville, or call 931-684-1363. Follow us on Facebook for the latest specials. Shop local. Save big at the Pig.
At Kincaid Service Company, we've proudly served Middle Tennessee since 1934. Families across the region trust us for quality furniture, appliances, electronics, and the kind of service only a hometown business can provide. From living room sets and dining collections to washers, dryers, refrigerators, and the latest in home entertainment, Kincaid is everything you need to make your house a home. And when it comes to a great night's sleep, our showroom features leading brands of mattresses, offering comfort and quality you can count on. We don't just sell products, we stand behind them. When you buy your appliances or electronics from Kincaid, our expert service team is here to keep them running for years to come. It's the kind of care that sets us apart. For value, selection, and service you can trust, visit Kincaid Service Company today, locally owned and community strong.
On game day, winning is everything. But life's big wins happen off the field. When you win a heart. When you win their trust. When you win their respect. First Bank's community banking is perfect for life's big wins because of what we're big on. You. Make us part of your team for life's biggest wins.
All right. Welcome back to the weekend wrap up. Josh, I know you've got some things coming ahead this next week. Let's
Things
what you
coming
got
ahead.
coming?
Let's talk about today. Today, starting at the H.V. Griffin Park, I believe, at 5:00 is the 250th birthday, 4th of July extravaganza.
Barring another storm.
Another storm. Let's not have.
Hey, they're saying it's 50-50 this
I know.
afternoon.
I looked at my little weather app and the hourly and stuff. I'm like, man, those
6
percentages
o'clock.
look very similar to the percentages
Yes.
from yesterday.
And you know, we
So,
have got a strange weather phenomenon taking place right now with under this big dome of heat that we've got. We've got the storms are moving from east to west, Josh. Or actually
yeah, the ones
northeast.
yesterday were.
It's like
yeah,
a
they were backwards.
wraparound situation, and that is a very 95% of the time, or even more probably. If you ask Logic Kirby, your weather patterns go from west to
West
east,
to east normally.
but this is coming from east to west, so that's
Yeah.
weird. So if you're looking at the radar, look to your southeast,
Yeah.
and that's what's coming.
Yeah. Well, hopefully neither east nor west
I
has
know,
rain
but
tonight because
I
we'd like to
gotta-
shoot off some fireworks. at
Somebody's
9
gonna
o'clock.
get it somewhere, probably.
Yeah, but either way, 5:00 it all starts. There's a stage, there's bouncy houses, there's music, there's fireworks, there's a bunch of stuff. So
Are you getting into bouncy houses?
I will not be in the bouncy houses. I will not be singing on the stage. I will be attending and watching some of the music, and I will not be there for the fireworks because I will be going to my neighborhood is having a big neighborhood fireworks.
Yeah,
show.
I'll be
So
over there close to you. Look
I'm
up on the hill. We're gonna be
celebrating
doing
with
it
neighbors.
too.
You shoot
Yeah.
them off over on that side
Yeah.
of town as
Yeah.
well. So there will be a lot of fireworks. in my
Man, we
neighborhood,
gotta-
so.
We got to worry about these dogs and horses, man. I
Yeah,
have heard so many stories about
Yeah.
dogs freaking out. I used to have a dog, and then whenever everybody shoot fireworks, he would come into our garage, walk up the steps into the house, but not go in the house, and get up on a shelf and hide behind some
And
stuff
hide.
in the shelf for days after that.
Oh, for days.
So it's a
wow.
real thing. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
They
it
get
is.
into the
Yeah,
shop.
I know. It's rough on the dogs. And we had not to get off on another tangent, but we changed the ordinance last year on fireworks in town. I've lived in areas as recently as right before I moved here where they outlawed them in the city. And the problem with the straight ban, which a lot
Yeah.
of cities have it around here, including Nashville,
Yeah.
is that people ignore it.
Oh, I know, yeah.
So if you just straight cut them off,
Everybody's breaking the law.
everybody's breaking the law, and police can't enforce that. So we tried to hit some kind of a happy medium. The current one in the city of Shelbyville is you can shoot them off on the 4th, and because the 4th doesn't always fall on a convenient day, or maybe it rains, say we get a bunch of rain tonight, the current ordinance allows 2 days before the 4th and 2 days
Right.
after the 4th to get your fireworks shot off.
Yeah, I remember that was
Yeah.
done last year, wasn't it?
Well, because
You,
back to my neighborhood,
it was
it's my
you.
fault.
It was you.
We had some
You're
neighbors
the
that
one.
tried to shoot them off the day after because it fell on
Yeah.
the day that they were working, and the police had to come in and shut them down
Oh no.
because the ordinance at that time literally only allowed you to shoot
Yeah.
them off from the 4th or before the 4th.
Right.
So yeah. So that's where it says currently. I know it's one of those things you can't please everybody. I had a lot of people that are like, man, we just need to nail it down to the 4th. But that almost gets to the same issue you run into where you're in Nashville, where you have the ban. If you've ever been or lived in Nashville, you can't even sell them in Davidson County. But every county line,
Yeah.
Nolensville, all of them, right at the county line,
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
tent because everybody goes right to the county line, buys them, brings them back in. and
Kind of
shoots
like
them off.
the
So,
in the days of prohibition.
yeah,
The
it's-
dry counties,
yeah.
right at the county
you
line.
can't
Everybody
just-
got
yeah,
drunk right
so,
there.
So there, if you've got some
Oh,
kind of
gosh.
a reasonable something, hopefully that helps a little bit. Still, I mean, you still got the people that are like freedom, America. And I'm gonna shoot them off, 365 days a year.
Yeah.
And you can't.
Yeah.
There's nothing
No.
you can do about that. But we were trying to be helpful. So either way, tonight they're shooting them off at the park as long as it's not pouring rain. The only meeting this week in city or county government is City of Shelbyville City Council meeting has been moved up to Tuesday because Most of them are at a conference on Thursday when it would normally be held. We will be voting on a new sign at the entrance to the Riverview District. This is going to be like one of them metal poles with like an arch that says "Welcome to the Riverview District."
Okay.
That is majority, I believe, 75% paid for by the state is doing that because it's a kind of a tourism and encouragement thing. We'll be voting on a moratorium on data centers.
Let me say something about this, Josh.
But the data center moratorium?
We got the county. The planning commission has recommended to the county commissioners for the same vote for a year, a moratorium.
Correct. Yeah, that was
Okay.
the recommendation.
And the city, same situation.
Yep.
The planning commission of the city did the same thing.
Yeah.
These two things were posted from numerous. I know the Bedford County Post did. Maybe Times Gazette. We did. You put something up about it.
Yeah.
Some of the comments that came in, obviously, people don't know what a moratorium is.
Yeah.
If you support a moratorium,
Yeah.
you're supporting a halt for a year,
Right.
so people can study it, look deeper into it. So we're not approving data centers. We're saying no to data centers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the idea.
I don't know how else plainer you can say it, but 90% of the comments that I'm going, obviously nobody knows what a moratorium is.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right.
We need to go back to school.
Yes.
Josh,
I know.
it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I mean,
the internet can be frustrating.
it's not the internet.
Yeah.
It's
Facebook.
the people pushing
It's the people on.
keys.
It's
I
the
mean,
people on the internet.
moratorium.
Yes,
That means
moratorium.
no. Okay,
Yes.
so the city is going to vote on this.
Yes, and the county. Part of the reason we're doing it this month is I thought because the planning commission had went ahead and recommended it that the county would also vote in July. It appears, unless they're going to suspend the rules, they didn't put it on their agenda.
Yeah.
Which likely means they're going to vote on a committee first the week after, and then actually have their final vote
Okay.
in August. But we're going to go ahead and
I will say
Get it
this.
done.
This is what the citizens have been asking for, basically.
Oh,
And this is what we're getting.
Yeah.
And then everybody's hair is on fire because they think it's the opposite. People got to read.
yes.
Okay.
So-
All right. That's my soapbox. Go ahead.
That's the vote. Because it was just deferred for 1 week. Back on the agenda again will be that U.S. Bank building. The discussion, just the way the discussion went at that first meeting, that it was possible to vote on it. It seems like this needs even more study. It
Yeah.
probably needs to get punted to August. So I don't.
Punt.
Yeah, I don't. We'll vote one way or the other, but I think the vote is likely going to be to punt it another month. Just my personal guess.
Yeah.
And then last one that I did a bullet point on, anyways. We're going to vote, even though this has already kind of happened and we knew it was happening. We're doing an official authorization for the city staff to negotiate with the school board on the 4 acres of property behind Cartwright Elementary to possibly put in a fire station.
Okay. So they would negotiate and then bring back this to
Bring
the
back-
city council.
Yeah,
to
bring
vote
back
on.
an amount. Yeah, there's what as part of what we're voting on, we're going to put the offer is already out there. We're just approving the offer. My expectation there probably will be a
So
counter
this is
that'll
going
come
to be
back
a little
to
bit
us.
different
So
when we negotiated on the property at the airport where we just wrote a check.
I hope so. Yeah. This
This is going to actually be voted on by
this
city
will be
council.
voted on.
Okay.
And probably like I said, I expect a counter offer, and we would vote on that as well.
Yeah. So when we buy property, that's kind of the process.
That would
unless
be
it's an
how-
airport property. Then it's,
I don't.
you
I
weren't
was not
around.
involved
Okay.
in that deal, and it sounds like it was a sore spot, so I'm going to stay away from it. But no, this is an actual negotiation. So, and expectation is that we're going to buy this at a regular market rate, not that what happened on the other property is not going to happen.
I say
So,
Benji Burris -G4X. I say yes to data centers. Okay. Is this the real Benji Burris?
probably
Or
not.
is
if
this a
it's
fake
for-
Benji Burris?
it's
Because
gonna
this
be
don't
fake.
sound like Benji Burris to me.
I don't think Benji wants data centers, but I don't know. I could
Maybe
be
maybe he
wrong.
wants data centers.
I don't think he's pro. I don't know. I've not heard
He's
from Benji
pro
on-
data.
I-
sounds like.
Well, I
Whoever
mean,
this is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's not. So,
All right.
With that, I think that's all we got to talk about. I will say next Saturday morning is the because it'll happen before the show. Next Saturday is the VFW breakfast. So,
Oh,
yes, go out. And get
are they
your-
going to have country ham?
They have not been doing country. ham.
Man,
No,
they got to
they've
get
not been
country
doing
ham. They used
now.
to
They've
do
been doing-
country ham.
Yeah, they got what? I'm trying to think of the selection. I've been for going for a while now.
Sausage
You get asked for sausage, bacon, eggs, hash brown casserole, which I like. the hash brown
Oh, that's pretty
casserole,
doggone
hash brown
good.
Casserole, biscuit and gravy.
And
I think
coffee,
there's a
orange
pancakes,
juice, milk, all the
pancakes.
drinks.
Yeah, all your
And it's
breakfast beverages.
$10.
$10. All
You
can eat.
can't beat that.
All you can
Josh.
eat for $10, and you're supporting the veterans. So yeah,
Yeah, if
Second
they see
Saturday
me
every
come
month.
in, they're gonna make me leave. They say, "No, not you."
Well, they're not all you can
Not
eat.
you.
Not all you can eat. So no,
I've been kicked out of
always good.
buffets, Josh.
Yeah, well, this could be one they kick you out of. So, but no, it's always
Okay.
a great event. So next Saturday morning. So, and yeah, I don't know. I got nothing more to say. Happy 4th of July.
Happy
everybody.
4th of July.
Yes,
Thank
get out
you
and
for-
celebrate, blow up some fireworks.
And we said this week before we came on, we said this probably is going to be short. We don't have a lot to talk about, but we rabbited. We went after rabbits again, Josh.
Yes.
We can't help it.
Oh, and I'm going to stop us from stopping again. I did get a comment. And I missed this morning. I almost went. This comment came from Brenda Gregory. First Saturday of every month at Blankenship,
Blankenship.
they do have the country ham and everything.
And
at
that's Blankenship United Methodist Church, right?
I don't think I think
Is
you
it-
just missed denomination then, but maybe there. I think they've
Okay.
done Blankenship Community Church. Or something. I don't know.
Blankenship Community.
I don't
Okay,
know.
Brandon,
I'm
just
not
post
positive
that
on it,
again.
but First Saturday. of
Everybody knows
every-
where it is. It's out at Will.
on. Is it Midland Road? I think isn't it Midland up there?
No, it's
Yeah,
not
it is.
Midland.
Yeah, it is. It's up. You drive up 231. You go over and then up. So I've been.
Okay,
there.
I'm on the wrong side
You're
of
on
the
the
county.
wrong side of the county.
I'm on the different
You're on the
one.
wrong side of the county.
I don't know
So,
where I am.
Yeah. So,
All
but
right.
it is Blankenship. Look it up. The Blankenship breakfast first Saturday every month, 8:00, and they do have country ham at theirs. So
Country ham. There
they
we
have
go.
country ham. do
Will
have
they
country
kick
ham.
me out? Maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't
don't know.
think they kick you. That's the church. So yeah.
Yes, Midland Road. Okay,
It is
there we go. Midland
Yeah.
Road. Okay,
Yeah, it's
you're
Midland.
right, Josh.
Yeah.
You're on it.
I have been there.
You've been
I
there.
was not there
Okay.
this month. So,
All right.
So I slacked off.
Well, thanks everybody for watching. And Josh, thanks for your hard work this past week. We appreciate you digging this stuff up and keeping on top of things for us. But honestly, we hadn't had this type of coverage in a long time, and we appreciate you, Josh.
Well, thank you. Thank
And
you
I know
very
everybody
much.
else does too. Everybody have a safe and happy 4th of July. And remember the freedoms and remember those people that sacrificed so that we could have. Thanks a lot. We'll see you again next week.
Yep. So.